I'd spend my daughter's wedding fund on a solo cruise. My daughter, Emma, was my entire world after her mom passed away when she was little. I worked double shifts, skipped vacations, and saved every bonus I got to build up a fund so one day I could give her the wedding of her dreams. We used to joke about it when she was a kid. She'd say she wanted a castle, and I'd say, "Kiddo, I'll rent you a kingdom if you want." When she got engaged last year, I was ready. The fund had grown enough over the years that I could have paid for a grand ceremony, a reception at some fancy vineyard, everything she ever wanted. But then a few months into the engagement, Emma sat me down. Emma sat me down and told me she and her fiance, Lucas, were calling it off. No big dramatic fight, no scandal. They just realized they weren't the right fit. I told her I was proud of her for making such a tough decision instead of forcing something that didn't feel right. The wedding fund stayed untouched, and I figured one day she'd need it again. Then, a few months later, my sister, Emma's aunt, came to me with a suggestion. Her daughter, my niece, was getting married and struggling to cover the costs. My sister thought it would be such a beautiful gesture if I simply transferred Emma's fund to help her cousin out. She even said, "Emma's not using it, and it's just sitting there." I politely declined. She wasn't thrilled. A week later, my ex-in-laws called with the same idea. They all made it sound like I was being selfish for not sharing the money that was just going to waste. But it was never about the money. That fund was a symbol of years of sacrifice for my little girl, not a community bank. One night, Emma called me and said, "Dad, you should use that money for yourself. You've done enough for me." She knew about my dream cruise through the Mediterranean, something I'd always said I'd do someday. So, I booked the cruise. As I stood on the deck, sailing past the Greek Isles, sipping wine under the stars, I thought about Emma. She didn't need that money to be happy, and honestly, neither did anyone else. I raised my glass and whispered, "This one's for you, kiddo, and for all the castles we dreamed about."